Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the One Bitcoin Show. Today is December the 31st, 2018. In about 90 minutes here in Tel Aviv, it's going to be 2019. But you know what? It's just a random measurement of time. Strong hand, value your wealth in Bitcoin. Offended by selling. Be a unique beast. Unconfiscatable. Holder of last resort. We're going to talk about the holders of last resort. It's been a great year for us holders of last resort. We've tested the strengths of our strong hands. All right, check out all the links below. DisruptMeister.com. Follow me at TechBalt, TechBalt. Trezor, t-shirts, affiliate links. Bitbacker, Steam it. I'm Bitcoin Meister there. So here, Bakkt has a press release. I am pleased to confirm that we have completed our first round of funding of $182.5 million from 12 partners and investors who, like us, believe in the future of digital assets. Our work today is centered on driving institutional access for digital assets. Okay, great. Institutions are going to get their digital assets thanks to Bakkt, along with merchant and consumer uses. And we're already expanding on this vision, collaborating with great companies like Starbucks in these efforts. Okay, well, the point of this is that they've been able to, based on their hopes and dreams of getting institutions involved in the Bitcoin in their newfangled, approved by the government way, but it hasn't been approved yet. They've been given $182.5 million by their 12 partners. So obviously the money speaks pretty loud there that they believe this is going to get approved eventually. This is going to become a reality eventually. It's probably not going to be in late January like everyone thought. But again, in crypto, we have to push things way ahead. We are given a date. If they say January 24th, let's think springtime or something like that. But it's good news to end this 2018 with that they were able to raise $182.5 million. And you can read that article, press release by Bakkt themselves. Link to below. Oh, yeah, dude. Custodial solutions for all you institutions who can't control your own private key and use a Trezor. For all us regular guys who don't have to wait for Bakkt, we have our Bitcoin on our Trezors. We've been holding for a long time, baby, and we're ahead of the game. And again, the institutions are going to come in eventually. So if you're a no coiner now, don't cry later when they're in. They're not in yet, because they want other people to hold their private keys for them. Don't be like them. Get in when you can. Complain later if you're a no coiner. Personal responsibility is a new counterculture. If you took away one thing from this year, that's something to take away. Pound that like button's another thing to take away from this freaking 2018, which here in the land of Israel is about to end in an hour and 20 minutes. We'll get to that in a second, though. Peter Todd has a tweet out there, and this was in a ridiculous thread he was part of because Nouriel Roubini is like going crazy or something. Anyway, I'm not going to get into what the main point of the thread was, but this is an interesting point. Many European Jews deposited their life savings in Swiss banks when World War II broke out during the 1930s and 40s. And after the war, many were not allowed to recover their assets because their documentation was gone. Well, something I just thought of, many of them weren't able to even approach the banks because they were obliterated by horrific people. But the ones who actually survived, they didn't have their documentation anymore. And they weren't apparently able to get their into their Swiss bank accounts at all or easily, or who knows what happened in terms of that. But my point in repeating what Peter Todd said here, he says Bitcoin would have given people ways to avoid that problem, the problem of not having identification, not of the problem of being scapegoated and then herded up and destroyed like animals. But no documentation. We live in a society where documentation means so much today. Those are my words. And Bitcoin, you don't need documentation. My mom has to, close some accounts of my father's, get into certain accounts, safe deposit, all sorts of documentation is necessary for this. And again, back in the day, if they had Bitcoin, I'm sure some smart people would have saved their wealth there instead of depending on Swiss bank accounts, which needed documentation apparently. But you need no documentation in Bitcoin. That is the point. You need no Bitcoin doesn't require you show your papers, okay? You show your Visa. You show your Maryland driver's license. Bitcoin does not require. That is the beauty of Bitcoin. You can stash it away. You could be out of the country for 10 years, be in a coma for 10 years, come back. No one's asking for some new form of documentation. You can just get your Bitcoin if you control your private key. All right, moving on. What is this here? Oh, this is great. I found this one on another thread. This was also on some ridiculous thread of some sort. I forgot. This is by First Class Citizen. First Class. So he's not a first class citizen. He's a first class citizen. Very funny, dude. He said, and again, all these tweets are linked to below, so you can fully investigate the ridiculous threads they were from. This dude says, don't look at all-time highs. He's talking about in terms of fiat. Again, we value our wealth in Bitcoin. So look at yearly lows. That will tell you the growth in holders. And then he lists the year. And I never really thought about this. This is a great point. In 2012, the yearly Bitcoin low was $4. 2013, the low was $65. 2014, it was $200. 2015, it was just below that at $185. It was the only year it went down. In 2016, the yearly low was $365. 2017, the yearly low was $780. And then 2018, the yearly low was around $3,200. And he says that tells you the growth in the people who won't sell at any price. Holders of last resort, dude. That is an interesting analysis of those numbers, man. So if the trend continues, though, 2019, it might get below $3,200. If you care about if you value your wealth in fiat, if you're interested in that thing, in that aspect. But then in 2020, they'll be higher yet again, the low of the year. Who knows, though, if that exact trend will continue, or if 2015 was a total fluke. But again, the underlying trend is that there's a growth in people that are not going to sell at any price, baby. All right. So, yeah, I said Tech Bolton Disrupt Meister already. You know to go there, people. So Bprivate has a blog out, and I wanted to share this because I mentioned it the other day that they had some options on their hard fork that they have to do because they they had some serious issues where someone produced extra Bprivate. So here's a deal for if you're involved in this in some way, and this is going to be a very good learning experience. First of all, the first point we already learned is with all of these altcoins, you don't know what the heck's going on behind the scenes. Who knows how many extra coins they're producing? It can happen, apparently. They can say, oh, we're only making 21 million. They're going to end up with 23 million. Or who knows what's going on with some of the other ones, though. But by the 5th of January, and that's real soon, that's in 5 days, you can move your shielded coins. If you don't, though, you're going to lose them. But they are setting up a fund that will reimburse people. All right. And a third party will control that fund. So if you can show that you didn't know that you had to move your shielded coins by that date, and you're not the person that created all of those fake shielded coins, then they'll bail you out. Okay. So they got to bail. But they also say that by March 1st, you have to move your coins. You have to move your Bprivates. or else you're going to lose them. They're getting rid of all of, and so they'll give you more warnings about this. But they are going to destroy all coins that are not moved. They feel they have to do this, and they say that by the end of this, by March, they're only going to have 3.5 million Bprivates, which is quite. They're going to get rid of the great majority of their coins. So this will be interesting. This will be interesting to see. Oh yeah, it'll be very interesting to see how the market judges this. A coin that all of a sudden gets rid of most of its coins suddenly, and then they're going to have a new mining algorithm where they're going to eventually have 21 million coins again. So I guess you'll be, if you're a Bprivate miner, you're going to be able to mine more Bprivates or something. Hey, this is a crazy experiment. It will be interesting to see how it turns out, and maybe all of a sudden, if this is successful, other altcoins will just start destroying their coins. They're just getting rid of coins that have not been moved. So there are a lot of people out there, including myself, who own Bitcoin, and have never split their Bprivate from their Bitcoin. Well, we're going to lose our Bprivate if we don't do that by March the 1st. I don't know of a safe way of splitting your Bprivate away from your Bitcoin. Definitely not worth it to risk your, again, let's talk in fiat terms here for 1 second, to risk your $3,800 Bitcoin to get a like $2 Bprivate. That's not worth it if there's no easy Trezor split, and there isn't. But if you don't do it, you're going to lose it by March 1st. Don't do it. I do not recommend doing it. I don't plan, unless there's an easy, safe way to split it. I'm not doing it just to get my Bprivate. No. Let's see. It's a very interesting thing. This is what altcoins are for. So it's just an experiment on. So speaking of altcoins, though, and a guy who doesn't like them very much, Tonebay's tweet is out there. He's got a chart that shows from 2013, 14, 15, and 16, like the top 10 to 13 coins on CoinMarketCap. And guess what? Every year, Bitcoin is number one because it's the rock. And Bitcoin is the next Bitcoin. And one Bitcoin equals one Bitcoin. But, oh, my Lord. And it's from like December of those years. You should see some of the other ones that got in there. No, I'm not going to use his language. It use his dirty language. But you do not want to be a bad. There's so many people like, you've got to diversify in the top 10. Oh, dude. Oh, if you did this with some of these coins. Again, Litecoin survived. Ethereum survived. But no, it can change that top 10 to 13. Here are some classics that he said that, and Tone has a point here. Many of the new people don't even know these coins ever existed, let alone they were in the top 10. Let's go over this Hall of Shame here. What do we got here? Paycoin. Next. ProShares. WorldCoin. MadeSafe. PeerCoin. Quark. Oh, Bill's still in his Quark. Namecoin. Economy. I remember them all. But back in the day, some of those didn't have big promoters. I know MadeSafe, there were some MadeSafe people, and there definitely were some Quark people too. And the NXT people. Yeah, there were some of those too. But I don't remember any like WorldCoin people or Paycoin. I thought Paycoin was a total scam from what I heard. I don't even know. All right. So the last few days, we've talked about big names that are mentioning Bitcoin on for various reasons. Well, here's a very interesting one. This wasn't Jordan Peterson, I think like 20 hours ago, tweeted the following out. Time Magazine praises Bitcoin as a potential bastion of freedom. Whoa, wait a second. Jordan Peterson's got 1 million followers on Twitter. And he's the one who, with Dave Rubin, are supposedly going to reinvent the broken wheel and create their own Patreon. Wait a second. Is he having second thoughts about that? Is he learning about Bitcoin? Have all the people out there who have reached out to Jordan Peterson and on their own, the Bitcoin fans, and mentioned it to him and mentioned it to Dave Rubin. And I think I tweeted it out to Ruben before. I don't even remember if it. I'm not saying it was me. It was all you guys who did this. Have you made a difference? Had you made a difference here? Is Jordan Peterson going to be talking more big? That would make a big difference. That, instead of saying, okay, I hate Patreon, I'm making my new Patreon, he and Dave Rubin and say, no, we're just going Bitcoin. Now, that's not what it says here. It's just him tweeting out Bitcoin, a positive article about Bitcoin to all his people. But let's keep an eye on that. Now, again, I'm not one to blow things out of proportion. We got to take it and just be calm about it. Be calm. Don't buy Bitcoin because Jordan Peterson might be buying it soon. But we're going to get into in my prediction section of the show, because we got to make a few predictions since it's apparently 2019 in an hour and 10 minutes here. Oh, in the old days, I would never have been on a computer an hour, 10 minutes before New Year's Eve, but I value my wealth in Bitcoin now, not in what I used to value my wealth in. No. When I was a real little kid, of course, I would be with my parents and my family, and we would do. There would be fun. We would do such fun, wholesome things on them. We would take a picture. I'm not gonna say how many siblings I have, but we would we'd all hold up signs. It would say, goodbye. Goodbye, 1996. Welcome, 1997. And we do it every year. Every year we do it. Oh my God. It was such a great thing. And it would just be my parents would be in the picture. Sometimes my grandparents, friends of my family. I mean, some people who are not living anymore. It's beautiful, wholesome pictures. You should do it with your family. That's a good thing. This is not a religious holiday. It's a total made up holiday, whatever. It's arbitrary measurements and we're going to get into arbitrary measurements, but you could do something fun and wholesome. And Dick Clark's show used to kind of be, sort of wholesome. I don't know if the entertainment was good on that. Who knows? I don't know. Pound that like button if your New Year's memories. But no, as I got older and, drank with my friends, we wouldn't do wholesome things. No, we would, that's not good. Be healthy, people. Be healthy. Where was I going with this? Bitcoin survived 2018. All right. Of course it did. But there were, of course, people saying that it wouldn't. But you needed a strong hand for you to for your Bitcoin to survive in your possession. You needed a strong hand this year. And I said this in the last few shows. My prediction is that you're still going to need a strong hand in 2019. Okay. There are going to be some rough times in terms of fiat value. There's not going to be an all-time high in fiat in 2019 for Bitcoin. Hey, I'm a positive guy, but I'm going to say that. But one Bitcoin is still going to equal one Bitcoin. But I will say this though, one prediction is that someone like Jordan Peterson, someone from outside the mainstream who is an influencer on social media, is going to go full Bitcoin in terms of the way they are going to go all in Bitcoin or maybe crypto in the way they fund themselves. They're going to abandon these centralized Patreon type of things and really create something good with Bitcoin. How big are they going to be? If it's Jordan Peterson, that this other people would jump on his bandwagon. It will be somebody like that. We shall see. We shall see. I also think that 2020 will be a better year for Bitcoin than 2019. But hey, guys, we're one day closer to 2020 right now. Every day, we're one day closer to 2020. If you value your wealth in fiat, we're one day closer to the all-time high again also. But hey, one Bitcoin equals one Bitcoin. Guy Bennett just sent $5 in the super chat. Thank you, dude. He says, Happy New Year's to everyone with a strong hand. My 2019 resolution is to accumulate more Bitcoin and get ready for the 2020 halving. Guy Bennett, that's a good New Year's resolution. I don't even really do them anymore. Because again, it's arbitrary measurement of time. I'm always trying to better myself from day to day. From day to day, I'm trying to better myself. So I've got a resolution every day, I guess, when I wake up. Make it a better day than the day before. But Guy Bennett, thank you. Stay positive. Stay positive, people. In every day. It doesn't matter if it's a new. And I'm going to give, some people aren't positive on New Year's Eve because they blow it out of proportion. They think they got to be with a significant other or with their family or with whoever. Maybe they find themselves alone. Well, you know what, God? And this is the thing. I'm in a country where I have a distant relative in this country, actually, but no close relatives, no super close friends. I do have friends, but I don't. So you could say I'm alone. Couldn't you say that I'm alone? Although, I mean, again, you're not alone. You're not alone. I'm not alone. You're not alone. And it's New Year's Eve. So what? It's arbitrary. And we're going to get into that in a second here. I'm getting into my Saturday type of talk here. But Guy Bennett, thank you for the $5 super chat. Thanks to everyone for the support this year and through the years, and whatever. If you sent crypto, you sent Bitcoin. If you retweeted my tweets, if you did anything, if you said you suck Adam Meister, but then you retweeted my tweet, that helped too, dude. If you trolled and mentioned my name, that was good too. Haters can help you too. If you got haters, it's a good sign. It really is a good sign. That means you're controversial in some way, and it's good to be. If you're just milk toast, what's the point of that? You're not. This is not fitting in is overrated, baby. Pound that like button. And yeah, that's another thing for New Year's. If you're gonna go get drunk to binge drink just to fit in, don't. It's overrated. All right. So we did a little bit of predictions there. But yeah, again, if Jordan Peterson went all in Bitcoin, it would help with Bitcoin adoption. It would. There's no doubt about that. Because anyway, let's go. Bitcoin Magazine. Aaron Von Weirdham's got an article out. Blockchain analysis about to get harder. And he says, yet another tool is being. This is a good article. Read it. Privacy is important, people. Yet another tool is being added to Bitcoin's growing number of privacy solutions. Thought up at a brainstorming event attended by Bitcoin developers and privacy researchers last summer, pay to endpoint, P2EP, I got the hiccups here, is a relatively new trick that utilizes the well-known coin join mixing technique to make blockchain analysis much harder. Good. I didn't read the whole article. You read the whole article. You tell me about it, people. If it's making blockchain analysis harder, good. People need some privacy here. All right. Hey, Tel Aviv, join us on Thursday, the 3rd, for the 10th anniversary blowout party. And I linked to it below, and it's going to be a fun time. Over 600 people. They just got approved for We're going to have fireworks at this party. Yeah, so come on out. I'm at the Bitcoin Embassy in Tel Aviv every Sunday night. I'm there. So if you want to hang out with me, and I noticed a few Israelis have commented in the comment section saying they're going to be at the party. So yeah, there's going to be people saying, "Wait a second, Adam. So you're saying you're alone on New Year's Eve, but your New Year's Eve is really on January 3rd, isn't it?" Yeah, it sort of is, isn't it? But again, but that's the point. The point is that you don't have to make this your New Year. You can party any night of the year. If you're not with somebody tonight, who gives a darn? You'll be with somebody another night. And you know what? If you find yourself always alone, watch this show. I'm with you. I'm your friend. Trust me, I am your friend. All right. So Gemini sent out an email. I think there is anyway. So Gemini sent out an email, and here's a meet that I got, even though I don't have a Gemini account, because they wanted my power bill or my electric bill, and then I was like, I'm not signing up for this darn thing, but yet I'm still on their list. Anyway, and when I tried to sign up for them, it was like a moment of panic with Coinbase in 2016. Like, I was buying Bitcoin on Coinbase, and they said, you have to scan in your driver's license now, or you can't buy any more Bitcoin. And I was buying quite a few Bitcoin at that time. And so I was in panic mode. I signed up for Gemini, but I was able to scan in my driver's license to Coinbase, and they accepted it amazingly enough. And again, you're saying, Adam, you gave up all your ID to Coinbase. They already knew my social security at that point. It doesn't. At that point, it didn't matter. I don't give up my darn driver's license to anybody else, though. I was already too deep in at that point. Again, I signed up for Coinbase. I'm very much aware that, when I sell my Bitcoin, you got to pay taxes to the United States government. That's the way it is. That's the game you play when you play with Coinbase. But anyway, Gemini, I'm still on their email list. Here, they have a year in review, and I linked to it. It is so corporate sounding. They mention their New York how they go by all the New York rules, whatever that thing is called. I always want to say New York Agreement. That's not what it is. It's the whatever the rules that govern Bitcoin and crypto in New York. They are so proud to follow. Anyway, this is a nice and warm corporate press release that makes all the people who enjoy having their private key controlled by other people, all the corporate types who don't get what Bitcoin is all about. This is something that'll make them all happy. All this corporate mumbo jumbo is in it. So Gemini, you keep doing your thing. You get a lot of customers this way by making yourself seem all corporate. And it's signed by the Winklevis themselves. This, check it out. Oh, it's gross. But hey, a lot of people like that. It's not my cup of tea. Personal responsibility is new counterculture. That's my cup of tea. Those people's cup of tea is, oh, the Winklevis are so rich and smart. They're responsible for all this. I'll let them do what they. So you know what? Also, like Coinbase, the Gemini also sent out an updated version of their user agreement, and I'm going to quote something from it. You agree and understand that in our best estimation, we are unlikely to support most forked networks, and that the digital assets of most forked networks will likely not be made available to you. Well, they're telling you the truth. They're telling you when the crypto dividends come out, you're not going to get them. You're not going to get your crypto dividends. What you think are your Bitcoin are really Gemini's Bitcoin. And they're going to get your crypto dividends to pay their employees with. Oh, yeah, it's B gold, all right, when it's free to them. Your B gold is their free gold. They're like the leprechaun at the end of the rainbow. They're getting your B gold. They're never giving it to you. But that's what you signed up for with these things. And they're telling you right there. Now they're not. It is a great question. What do they do with all these fork coins? What do they do? They're not giving them to you. I mean, even these crazy ones like B Diamond, they got so much Bitcoin laying at Coinbase and Gemini. That's a lot of money. They could pay a lot of employees with that type of thing. Oh, the leprechaun at the end of the B gold rainbow is Coinbase and Gemini. When I was like the leprechaun at the end of I was thinking of the rainbow. When you think of rainbows, you think of San Francisco. They're partying it up there tonight in Rainbow Land. What's up, dudes? Pound that like button. All right. They're pounding some stuff out. Anyway, hey, this show's getting too graphic here. Whoa, it's obviously New Year's. No, we got some great supports in San Francisco, Seattle. Everybody. Those are men going their own way. Truly. Whoa. But dudes, get your Bitcoin. You have no kids. You have so much disposable freaking income. Bitcoin. All right. Don't party it up too much out there in the Castro tonight. Save some for the freaking Bitcoin. All right. I'll never forget when we were at a friend of mine wedding in San Francisco. Like, my friends were trying to get like, we wanted to do some burger joint. We thought it was I think I told this story before. We thought it was in the Tenderloin. Next thing we know, we're in the middle of the Castro. These freaking tremendous rainbow flags. My friends were cool about it. We were cool about it. Whatever. It was clean at least outside and stuff. I mean, you see guys looking like Ray Lewis holding each other's hands. I mean, what the heck? Once you've seen that, you've seen a lot. All right. So, yeah, strong hand year of 2018. It's going to be a strong hand year of 2019. Oh, Don Cornelius. Don Cornelius, watched his Go Tenna video. He sent me it in the super chat yesterday. I watched some of it. I linked to it below. You watch all of it. Tell me all about it. My time is limited today. Oh, dude, I've been on. It's almost 2019. It's like 55 minutes away. Well, another thing to do on this day is not just about it turning into a supposed new year or whatever. Ultima Thule, this Kuiper Belt object, is being visited right in a few hours is one of man's greatest accomplishments. You'll be able to follow it on YouTube. I didn't link to it. It's actually Johns Hopkins has something to do with it, so it's based in Laurel, not in Baltimore. But whatever, that's fine. So fitting in is overrated. If you're going out, be careful. Be careful out there. Lots of cops looking for you, drunk drivers and stuff. Lots of people getting into fights for no reason. Who knows? People trying to steal all sorts of stuff from you. Don't drink to excess if you're not used to drinking. This is amateur night out there tonight. Here in Israel, I don't even know what's going to be going on because everybody works tomorrow. But I want to walk around right after I get off of here. I'm just going to walk around and see what's going on. I guess I'll tell you tomorrow. In San Diego last year, I went out. Everyone's partying in the streets. That's where I was last year in San Diego. So we'll see. But I'm going to have your New Year's on the 3rd. If you're here in Israel, it's Thursday's big party night. We're going to have this big party. The 3rd for all of you all over the world. That's the 10-year anniversary of Bitcoin. Make that your big night. Hang out with people that night. New Year's. And again, measure your time in halvings. That's what I came out up with tonight. Measure your time in halvings. So how many days are we away from the halving? So who cares about what year it is? There's a halving it was halving 2016. I know I'm saying the year. Well, okay. There was the first halving, then there was the second halving, then there's the third halving coming up in 2020. And then there's the fourth halving coming up in 2024. So measure your time in halvings. How about that? Not in years. That shows you how arbitrary that kind of thing is. The measurements of time. In Bitcoin land, we measure it in halvings. All right, that's the end of this silly show for tonight. Everybody, if you do care about it turning a new year, Happy New Year. It's all made up anyway. It's obviously it's arbitrary. Be safe tonight. I'll say hi to everybody in the super chat. Bang that bell button to remember when a new show comes out live. I will continue to do a show every single day in 2019. I averaged more than one show a day in 2018. It was quite a year, wasn't it? On a lot of levels. So give yourselves a round of applause, everyone. You guys are awesome. Seriously. Everybody out there in the chat. I'll just see you tomorrow. I'll see you all. It's just a normal day. I'll see you tomorrow. But learn about Ultima Thule on the Johns Hopkins thing if you're not drinking tonight. And pound that like button, everybody. It's been fun. See ya.